You are all welcome to Subway Energy Academy. Subway Energy Academy is the training section of Subway Energy Limited, and we are here to empower you with knowledge. We are here to rub minds together. We are here to equally give you the opportunity to navigate when you talk of the solar industry. We are in Akwa Ibom State. Our head office is in Ikote Data Next Sebat in the Beyond Ibom local government area. We have our branch office in Uyo still in Akwa Ibom State, but we have partners in other parts of the country and in Africa as a whole. As you have become part of this session, if you decide to be our partner, the door is widely open. So setting the foundation, we are basically into solar system consulting services. We are into ultra-modern solar system design, installation training, both online and offline, and we are into sales. So when we are talking about the power industry, well, we are going to project the solar industry here. You can install solar for businesses, school, supermarket, churches, villages, and in any kind of industry. My name is Engineer Asanga. I am a result-oriented solar consultant. I've published at least 7 best solar textbooks in the solar industry when we are talking about residential solar system installation. I am here to educate you. I am here to inform you. I am equally here to mentor and inspire you when you want to go solar. What is basically the reason why we are having this live session? We want to dive deeper into the secrets and nitty-gritty surrounding the solar industry. Some of the projects, this roof racking, some of our residential solar system installation, some of our C&I projects. As you can see here, I'm not going to waste your time. If you are in any of our group, we have already sent you some the YouTube channel that you can view some of this. This is a mini grid project. It powers an entire community. We have done some publications in the solar industry. This is Solar Exclusive, Solar Companion, Solar Exploits, Solar Companion 2. We would love to share the course content of each of these textbooks in our platform. Then 49 reasons why your solar system installation for roof racking and complete guide to solar tools and accessories. Profiting from the sun. Basically, those are some of our publications we have done so far in the industry. This is a physical training session. Basically, we advise our students that venturing into the solar industry, you don't need to start with physical training. You need to be in the classroom, a session specifically designed to give you the needed information before you move to the field. If you say you want to go to the field to start learning solar, you'll be making blunders. Where we give our students certification, a session whereby our student wants to go into doing what they know how to do best, certification. So let's dive in. Basically, somebody might ask me, for the people that are very fresh to the solar industry, what is solar or what is solar system? Basically, when we talk of solar energy, we are talking about the energy that is generated from the sun. The energy that is generated from the sun. And we have basically advantages of maybe generating power from the sun and disadvantages. But that is not what we are going to discuss. With photovoltaic system types, which might be a big challenge to some people, photovoltaic system types. When we say photovoltaic system types, if you want to buy a laptop, if you want to buy a car, if you want to buy a phone, you need to know the particular type of phone that you need. You have to know the characteristics, the features, the advantages, and the disadvantages of each of the phone. So in the solar industry, the same thing is applicable. Before you think of going solar or negotiating with your clients, you need to understand the type of solar system that the client is interested in. The very first type of solar system that we have, please, what we are doing here, we are building this is very solid foundation. So please pay close attention to what we are discussing here. We will not repeat ourselves. When we say integrated photovoltaic battery charging system, we are talking about those systems that some people call it solar generator. Solar generator. So everything is fused into one. Going solar is very, very expensive, and some people might not have the financial muscle to install the conventional solar system, and they might be interested in this kind of system that we call integrated photovoltaic battery charging system. Part of the training that we give our students is how to design this kind of system. We call it battery fabrication, in which you bring in the battery cells, charger, inverter, you put it inside a box, which is the casing, and you'll be able to generate solar for your clients. There is a very big business here. We handle this. This is a separate department in Subway Energy Limited. So here you have your PV, your charge controller, your storage battery, electrical load, and application will be integrated into it. So finally, you have solar energy. We are talking about the very first type of solar system installation. If you know how to give your clients solution based on this type of solar system, you'll be raking with cash, millions of naira, because you'll be attending to low-income earners. Systems of this category can be like 200, 300,000, 400 or 500,000 to the low-income earners. We know in the society that we are, not everybody can afford buying 10 solar panels, 15, 20, 5 kVA, 10 kilowatt lithium battery. So they will rather go for the integrated photovoltaic battery charging system. What does this entail? This entails you getting a solar battery, the solar panel, the solar charge controller, the solar inverter, and you fuse them, you integrate them into a box. And what you'll be getting is a complete package that you can give to low-income earners, and they will be lighting their fan, their television, their lighting point. They can equally charge their phone with this type of system. I've already said that here in Subway Energy Limited, this is a very separate department, which we are making a fat sum of money from this particular department. Pictorially, you can see here, this is like we all know Sunking. That is the popular maybe brand we have here. This is the box I'm talking about. You connect your solar panel to the box. Please, are you still following me?
Yes, we are with you.
Please, okay. Can you still hear me? Please, you can unmute yourself and let me know that you are following me.
Yes, we are following you.
Okay. Amos.
We are with you, sir.
Okay, please follow us as we move on. So we are saying that that type of system that we are talking about is the integrated photovoltaic battery charging system. I believe if your brand is not known in the solar industry, you can carve out a space here and start from here. People in your community, even if in riverine area without any access to electricity, they will need this. You can be making millions from this setup. We have another training, we say battery fabrication. You can, from the comfort of your home, build this setup. But the popular brand that we have here is BB Jump, and maybe other brands that you are aware of. They use a small solar panel. They have a box like this. You can connect maybe 9-watt bulb. Sometimes it can charge, it can power your television. You can use it to run your phone, charge your phone, and you can use it to power your fan. So this type of system, we call it the photovoltaic or the integrated photovoltaic battery charging system. We have some advantages. It is cheap and it is very easy to install. The disadvantage is that, or the disadvantages is that it cannot carry several loads and it cannot carry heavy loads. It's just lighting point, maybe your laptop, your fan, your lighting point. Highest load that this system can carry is your television set. And we have another type of system still along this line, the day use systems. The day use system. So these are solar solutions that only operate during the daytime without a storage mechanism. Without a storage mechanism. You can connect your solar panel to a DC electrical load, and it will be powering a DC load. Those are the kind of solar system we call day use system. From our slide here, we are saying that these are solar solutions that only operate during the day without a storage mechanism. That is, without your storage battery. They consist of modules wired directly to a DC appliance with no storage device. The sun shines on the module and DC is generated that powers the DC load. Those kind of system, we call them day use system. At night, you will not have access to power. So you have your PV, electrical load, basically DC, and you have a solar system. Then you can look at day use system. Example is your day use solar pump. Basically, when governments want to install maybe a community pump, they make use of DC pump. They will connect it such that it is only when we have the sun that the borehole can be pumping. On a rainy day, you will not have any source of power. So those kind of systems are called day use system. It might have been installed in your facility or in your community. We don't normally recommend this kind of solar setup for individuals because the cost of installing this might be approximately the same cost of installing a full-blown system that you can use other electrical loads that are AC to power your facility. So why spend on DC or day use system? So you can equally see day use system here, where we use the battery-less inverter. The battery-less inverter. When we say battery-less configuration, there are some inverters that you don't need to bring in solar battery. Maybe you don't have enough money to buy battery and you are running your own office. You can buy your solar panel, buy the battery-less inverter, buy your charge controller if you have money, and integrate all of them. Later, you can buy your battery bank, and it will still give you power in your facility or in your office. We have the one of such inverter is the Fronius inverter. The Fronius inverter can convert DC directly to AC for your electrical loads to use. So basically, the choice of any type of solar system installation is a function of maybe how much your clients can afford at that particular time. Your client can start with this. Later, he will move into buying solar battery to incorporate into this configuration. Everything with disadvantage always comes with advantages. So advantages of day use system, it is not too costly compared to full solar system installation. And you know that as such, it will not be too complex to install. The disadvantages is that can only carry DC loads. The load can only be operated during the day. Insulation fluctuation poses a serious threat to the usability of this solar system setup. Especially we talk about the battery-less solution. When there is fluctuation in the sun radiation, there will be fluctuation in the energy production. You know, the battery, when we use the battery, your battery, one of the advantages of using battery in your solar system installation is to take care of this fluctuation in voltage and current. So when you are using the day use system, like in your maybe your community borehole, when the sun intensity rises, you will see your pump will be rushing very fast. When the sun intensity goes down, the water that you'll be getting from the tap will reduce. So those are the disadvantages. So you can equally see here, this setup experience irregularities in voltage and current, can't carry heavy loads with high surge current for a brief period. So if you are running maybe a business center, you are using a photocopying machine, there might be problem when you want to on your photocopying machine, because there will be fluctuation. You know, your photocopying machine will always need a high amount of energy to start up. So when you are using day use system, maybe the batteryless kind of setup, it will pose a challenge. Please, are we on the same page?
Yes, we're together.
I'm hearing only one voice.
Yes, we are
I
on the
want to
same
be
page.
sure that, okay, we're on the same page. So let's look at direct current system with storage batteries. Direct current system with storage batteries. So basically, these are also AC loads, sorry, DC loads without the inverter. We all know that the reason why we bring in inverter into any setup is to convert DC to AC. But if somebody is running DC loads entirely, there is no need for an inverter. Example, if you go to some hospital, you see they will have a DC fridge, a DC fan, a DC AC, and they will be using the solar panel, the charge controller, and the solar battery without any solar inverter. That is another setup. The reason we are bringing this to our students is so that when they want to discuss with a client, because most clients, they will come to you and seek for advice. You as a professional, you should know exactly the type of solar system that will be suitable for your client based on his own budget. Advantages of direct current system with storage batteries. This can be powered anytime because of the storage battery. You can run this system both during daytime and at night. They can power heavy DC loads that requires such current. The disadvantages of direct system with storage can only power DC loads, not AC load. Then we move into the stand-alone or off-grid solar systems. This is the one that we are all familiar with. Those ones that we were mentioning, end users might not be too familiar with them. But from here, this is where everybody gets to know, oh, I'm using solar, where you will need the solar panels, you need the solar inverter, you need the solar charge controller, and you need the solar battery. It gives you a complete setup. It gives you a complete setup. And from the picture that we have here, this is a stand-alone solar system. There is no generator integrated here. There is no PHCN integrated here. This type of solar system installation, we call it a stand-alone system or off-grid, because we have not included the grid or generator here. Installing this type of solar system installation is very costly. It's more costly than installing an hybrid solar system, because when you are installing an hybrid solar system for a client, the generator will be assisting in the charging and NEPA light will be assisting in the charging. So the number of solar panels that you will require to run that setup will be less. But when you are running a stand-alone system, you need so much solar panels to make up for the charging of the solar battery. So advantages of stand-alone or off-grid: it is the best choice for AC load. It can handle such loads and any size of loads. Can be used at any time if the system was properly installed. But the disadvantage is that, or the disadvantages is that it is very costly to install, and it is at the same time very complex. Then we have another type of solar system, which is the stand-alone solar system without the solar panel. Some people call it the backup solar system. When we say the backup solar system, that means the clients will not need solar panels for the purpose of charging the solar battery, because your solar battery stores DC. Your solar panel helps to convert DC into AC. So the charging source will be your utility and your generator. You see some banks, you go to some banks, they are using ATM machine. They have their generator. They don't have any solar panel on their rooftop. So they make use of this type of solar system installation without the solar panel. So this type of solar system installation, we refer to it as the backup solar system. It is not as costly as the stand-alone solar system installation, and it is not as complex as the off-grid solar system installation. The disadvantage or disadvantages is that it is prone to failure if not carefully managed. Your solar panel is always there to augment the problem of, okay, I've run my generator for 2 hours, I don't have money to buy fuel. But when you install your solar panels on top of your roof, you are not paying for the sun. Each time there is sun, the sun will freely charge your solar battery, except on rainy days that you don't have the sun. That is the only time you might say, oh, I need to start my generator. So basically, we don't like installing this kind of system to end users, except you will guarantee us that I will be running my generator maybe for like 6-7 hours, and this battery will always be fully charged. Because when your solar battery is not fully charged, it will deteriorate. It will have an adverse effect on the cells inside of the battery. So we move into the hybrid or on-grid solar system. The hybrid or the on-grid solar system installation, where you have three sources to charge your solar battery. You have your solar panels, you have your generator, you have your grid to help charge the solar battery. As you can see, this is your solar inverter that will convert DC from this battery to power the AC loads here. This is your solar panels that from the solar charge controller, it will be charging your solar battery, and from the utility, you will equally be charging this solar battery. So this type of solar system is not too costly because, like I said before now, you are having different sources of charging the solar battery. So advantages of hybrid or on-grid, it does not require much solar battery, which invariably does not require much solar panels. And this greatly reduces the initial cost of your solar system installation. The more solar battery that you need, the more solar panels you will need. We will talk about this when we move into system design. Because we have other sources of power to charge the solar battery, even during days of autonomy or at worst case condition, your solar system will not have any problem. Disadvantages is that there is still dependency on other sources of power. Maybe if you don't have enough solar panels to charge your battery, or during total blackout, or you don't have the financial muscle to be running your generator, this system is always prone to failure. So another type of solar system installation we have is the grid-tied without battery storage. I mentioned before now the Frenius inverter, which is a batteryless inverter that can convert from DC to AC. It can convert directly from DC to AC. If you have entered our YouTube channel, you see us use this kind of inverter, the Frenius inverter. The technology behind this inverter is that it can convert DC from DC directly to the load, and you'll be running your AC loads. That is the technology here. So if you are using day use, if you are running day use, maybe in a bank, which we all know that the operation is during daytime, this is a perfect inverter to use, especially when the load is much. You will not look at buying so much battery storage. This kind of inverter does not really need much battery storage. DC is converted directly to AC. This setup, you can equally use this to sell out the energy that you generate from the solar panel to the grid directly. So this is a technology that some people use in maybe they sell off power to the power holding, though the technology might not be available in your country. Then we have another setup, which we call the grid-tied with battery storage. Sorry, I wrote here without. So the grid tied with battery storage. That means you get power from this Fronius inverter and other inverters, and you have the storage battery bank, such that at night you can still be getting power from the battery, because you need to integrate another inverter that can convert from DC to AC. Another topic we want to consider here is, why are people not tapping into this huge potential that the sun has provided? People say, no, solar is not working. I don't want to install solar in my facility. The reason why we are having this session is to create awareness to people that solar is the best option, except when we are talking of the costs. So lack of awareness is one of the reasons why people are not really buying into going solar. Sometimes it is not that they don't have money, but they don't have the proper awareness that they will be guaranteed that when they invest in solar, there will be no regrets investing in solar. So past experience and failure of already installed solar projects. If you are in a particular environment and your neighbor might have installed solar and you see it fail, you will not love to install solar, because when you consider the costs and before you know it, the investment, it's anything from it, you will not want to invest in solar. Let's talk about solar system failures. Most times you see people will install solar and before you know it, an entire house will be engulfed by fire. Why are we having failed solar system installation? You can see from the pictures that I've sent here, different scenarios where you are having failed solar system installation. There are many stages, processes involved before a solar system installation is commissioned for use. And when you have different professionals working on a particular project, any slightest mistake might cause a serious havoc to the setup. From designing of the solar system, procuring of the materials, installation, and maintenance, one person cannot cover everything. So you need to bring in different people who might have different experience in the industry. So that is the problem we might be having in the system. So one of the reasons why we are having failed solar system installation is ignoring small details. Like we said before, most times it is not the solar components that causes failures of solar system. It is when the professionals ignore small details when going about the process. So not putting protective mechanisms like breakers to help isolate the different components during maintenance or thunder strike. You can see the different protective mechanisms here that we had integrated into this system. When you put the right protective measures, your system will be equally protected from havoc. Then another thing is not earthing the solar building and the solar component. You can see how we go about earthing the earth cable, the bentonite, the earth rod, and every other thing here. Some people just install their solar system and they forget about proper earthing of the facility. And you can see the process here, how proper earthing can be done. How proper earthing can be done. We earth our solar building, we earth our solar panels, we earth our solar inverters. Everything is properly earthed. Not using the correct crimping tools Some installers manipulate their way through the crimping process and render the solar system susceptible to failure. Like you can see here, this person is cutting this cable and is joining it manually without using MC4. Most times, this is one of the reasons we have problem. Somebody's house will be engulfed by fire from installing solar panels. So we have crimping tools that we use MC4 to connect solar cables. If you cut it, like you can see here, if it rains now and water have its way into this connection, this system will be susceptible to catching fire. So that is, so you can see the MC4 connectors here and your crimping tools that you can professionally use to link solar cables together. Some people merely carry the solar cable and connect to the solar battery without using the right without terminating the solar battery properly. So you can see the right way you can terminate your solar cables here if you want to connect it to your solar battery. And the cables must be of equal length. You can see your MC4 connector that we are using here. So those are some of the reasons why your solar system installation fell. So not protecting solar system wire cable with Dodge pipe to protect them from adverse weather conditions. Some people finish installing the solar system, the solar panel, and they run their solar cable without using Dodge pipe to cover the solar cable. Rain will come and meet the solar cable, sun will come and meet the solar cable, and you know what this will result into. You can see this is the solar cable, and we use the Dodge pipe to cover it so that it can be protected from adverse weather condition. So like what I said, manually terminating solar battery and unprofessional finishing. If you look at this finishing now, it is so unprofessional. So when you run your solar system installation like this, it might be prone to being engulfed with fire. You can see it here. These are unprofessional way of installing solar system. So you can see how we terminate our battery here with our torque range. Our torque range to know the right torque for how you tight your solar battery when you are doing your battery connection. Proper battery termination, you use torque range to terminate your battery. Installing the solar panels directly on the roof without using the solar rails. This one, they are cutting the solar rails to use here, but we don't look at this as a professional way. Why cut solar rails when you can use straight solar rails? This one is even better. Some people will install the solar panels directly on the roof without using the solar rails. There is a particular temperature range that these solar panels can perform optimally. And when you install it directly on the rooftop, you are increasing the ambient temperature surrounding the solar panel, and the solar panels will not be generating at its peak. So it is always advisable to use solar rails when you are installing panels. So some accessories used during solar roof racking. You can see if you want to go for, if you want to do roof racking, you want to audit the roof, you have to use your vernier caliper. You have to use your vernier caliper. Some accessories used during solar roof racking, and you can see your L-foot, your mid clip, your end clamp here. So you need to use the proper tools while working on the roof. So crimping tools, flash band, your sealant, then you can see the whole process here. So let's look at the roof. Another reason why we are having failed solar system installation is using fake solar components. Using fake solar components. We have battery that might be cheaper than others, maybe because of how much you put inside of the quotation. You might end up using fake products to install solar for your clients. Then poor solar system design. Poor solar system design. Some people don't even know how to design the solar components. And when you don't know how to design the solar component, that is where the failure starts. That is where the failure starts. Some professional tools to use during solar system installation. You can see all this. You can see how we professionally terminate the DC box, wire scraper, and poor routine maintenance. Thus, covering the surface of the solar panels can make your solar system fail, because when dust accommodates on the surface of the solar panel, your solar panel will not be generating enough energy to charge your solar battery, and it will make your solar system prone to failure. Consider what determines the size of any solar system installation that you can think of. We said that we are going to consider residential solar system installation, C&I solar system installation, mini grid solar system installation. These types of solar system installation is just a function of size and a function of components that are used, maybe the design. So what actually determines the size of any solar system installation that you can think of? So there are many factors that determine the size of any solar system installation that you can think of. First is the electrical loads. The electrical loads. If you are living in one-room apartment, your electrical load will not be much compared to somebody who is running a business center, compared to a boarding school, compared to a facility, that is a factory, an industry, or a community. So the very first thing that determines the size of any solar system installation is the size of electrical loads that will be powered with the solar system. So when you say, oh, I'm only living in a one-room apartment, but you have AC, you have fridge, you have a dispenser, you have hot plate, you have, when he or she wants to go solar. There might be some client that say, no, I don't want to spend more than 5 million on this project because they have other needs that requires money. So you give a client a system that worth 5 million. He will be there to monitor or to manage the electrical loads. Then another thing is duration of usage of each of the electrical loads. When we will be moving into designing the solar system, you will be given a template that will specify the electrical load and the running hours, the duration of usage of each of the electrical load. So the duration of usage of each of the electrical load will equally determine the size of the solar system installation. Then another thing that would determine the size of the solar system installation is the period of usage of the electrical load. Some people might decide to run the electrical load during the daytime. Some people might decide to run the electrical load at night. This adversely affects the cost of the solar system installation, because at night you will need more battery storage to sustain the electrical loads that you will be powering. Then the geographical location of the solar installation site. If you are in Nigeria, for example, you are in the northern part of Nigeria, where we have maybe even from 5 or let me say from 7 a.m., you start having sun at a peak. Installing solar system in such geographical location will not be as costly as installing solar system in Akwa Ibom State, where by 8 o'clock you might not even have sun, and by 3 o'clock you start having you will not equally be having the sun by 3 or 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. So if you are installing the same size of solar system in the southern part of Nigeria and the same size of solar system in the northern part of Nigeria, the cost that you will require to install this same size of system in different geographical location will be affected by the sun hours available in each location. Don't worry, we are still laying the basic foundation that you will need, even when we will be talking about mini grid projects, where you will be installing systems for communities. Then another thing that affects the size of your solar system installation is days of autonomy. What do you mean by days of autonomy? Peradventure, during rainy season, you might be having days that the sun will not come up for like 3 days. But this client is telling you, I don't want any interruption. Whether it rains or it doesn't rain, I want uninterrupted power in my facility. So you will have to design your solar system to take care of days of autonomy. In this case, that means your solar battery will be much. Your battery bank will be much. And when your battery bank is much, this will adversely affect the number of solar panels that you will be using in the solar system installation. And we come here and we are telling you here that note that the size of your solar system installation is not dependent on the size of your building. Some people, when they want to go solar, they will tell you, I live in a bungalow. That is not the problem. The problem is your electrical load. I'm living, the size of the room is not what determines the size of the solar system. And the number of rooms doesn't determine the size of the solar system installation. We are diving deep into what we will need to do before we install any solar system for a client. What we just finished was just the preamble. Those information are paramount, maybe as a beginner in the solar industry, or maybe you were not properly trained. You need those information to function optimally in the solar or the solar, or when your client wants to go solar. So we are saying here that before any solar system design installation is carried out, a proper power audit of the facility must be carried out to determine the power consumption in the facility. It is after proper power audit that the cost of the solar system can be determined. Even if you want to buy the solar kits, solar generator, you must do power audit. You must first ask yourself, or the provider, somebody that wants to sell the solar generator to you, must first ask you, what do you want to power with this solar generator? If you mention maybe you mention just lighting point and charging of phone, maybe fan, the person might give you like 300 watts, which is 0.3 kVA solar system with a small battery bank. If you tell the client, I want to power my television, fan, 3 fans, maybe 10 lighting points. He will not give you that size of system. He will look at the electrical loads and know the right size of solar generator that he will be given, he will give to you. So first of all, let's look at what is power audit. What is actually this power audit? Project, or you are doing a mini grid project, the very first thing you need to do is you have to conduct a proper power audit of the facility you want to power with solar. So an energy audit involves the systematic review of energy consuming equipment in a building to identify energy management opportunities, which provide useful information for the building owner to decide on and implement the energy saving measures for environmental consideration and economic benefits. Here you might be running your AC, your television, you'll be pumping your water and every other electrical loads. During power audit, the professional can adequately advise the client. See, since your budget cannot take care of running all these electrical loads at the same time, you'll be doing load shifting. You'll be running some loads at a particular time and run some loads at a particular time. That is what we call energy management opportunity. And this is determined during the power audit exercise. So when we say loads, we are talking about electronics that make use of electrical energy. Example, your laptop, your phone, and television. When we say load in this context, we are not talking about what you carry on your head or any heavy load that you are carrying. Load in this context means electrical loads. So facility, when we say facility, we are talking about your house, your church, your mosque, your factory, your school, university, even prison. So we call them facility in this context. So when we say energy management opportunities, you should be familiar with me that, or you should follow up that what we are talking here is definition of some terms that is applicable to the solar industry. So when we say energy management opportunities, there are different ways to achieve energy efficiency and conservation. Example, you want to go solar. You were using residential that you want to go solar, you need to let go of all those high energy profile loads. You need to look at energy management opportunities. So why do you embark on power audit? It gives you first-hand information on how much it will cost the client to switch to solar, and it will enable you design and build the best solar system. When you go for power audit, you will know exactly how to build your solar system. Those unforeseen circumstances will be adequately addressed. So it will help you assist in planning future expansion, develop a database, determine whether energy is being used efficiently, identify cost saving, highest potential improvements, highlight potential improvements to existing system. And I believe we are spent 10 meets you and tell you, okay, I want solar system in my facility. You finish discussing with the client. You will first of all go back to maybe to your office or to your house and think about how you will go about the power audit. You might have had some discussion with him or her, and during the course of brainstorming, maybe he or she might have mentioned some electrical loads that will be powered with the solar system. You might have asked him, sir or ma, what is your budget? When he mentioned all these things, you will be looking at EMOs that you will discuss with him so that the solar system that you give to him his own budget. That is overview of the audit before you even move into the client's facility. So recommended actions, briefing on implementation plan. You need to plan the power audit exercise. Then introduction and building information. Or when you go for power audit, the very first thing you need to understand is the building information. There are many things that we will talk about here when we will be talking about power audit, auditing a facility. The objectives, why is solar system installed in the facility? Some people might just install solar system as a backup plan, so that when there is no electricity, the solar energy can augment for those times that you will not be having adequate supply from the energy grid. So you need to, first of all, understand the building. Then you need to ask the client why, what type. That is when you bring into practical what we discussed before, the different types of solar system. That this is when you ask the client what and what, why do you need this system? When he explains, you will know exactly the type of solar system that you will give to the client. Then energy audit scope. How will you go about the power audit? You need to assemble the audit team. You cannot work alone on site. You need to climb ladder. Somebody should be there to hold the ladder for you. You need to take measurements. Somebody will be there to hold the measuring tape for you. You need to document some things. You need to take pictures. So you need to assemble the audit team that will work with you. So the next thing we have here is building characteristic, type, floor areas, and operation. Description of the equipment system audited. So we have different types of electrical load. There is the system type, the capacity rating, and each of the electrical load, operating hours of each of the electrical load. All these things will add up to what will finally give you an overview of the kind of solar system that you will give to your client. Please, this is not peculiar to residential solar system installation. It cuts across residential solar system installation, C&I project, and mini-grid solar system installation. What we are discussing now is what we will carry into other types of solar system installation. So, data and survey findings. Most times when a client asks me, I want to go solar, I know that it is not everybody that needs solar. I've already established that fact. So the very first thing I will ask my client is, how much have you been spending on maybe other conventional power source or sources? Are you running generator? Are you getting power from the grid? When he answers me that question, I will ask him, what is your budget? There are some people that, if they tell you how much they spent on other electrical power sources, you will advise them there's no need going solar because of the cost implication. So historical energy consumption of the building. This has to do with, okay, you have been spending 10 million on power. Such a person needs to go solar. But if somebody is spending is running a business and is spending 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira on power, such a person might not really need to go solar, because the cost of installing solar might even drain the business or collapse the business if the person is not financially budgeted. So this is where historical energy consumption of the building is very, very important. This is one of the indices that will determine whether somebody should go solar or not. When we will be talking about feasibility study, this is where historical energy consumption of the building will come to play. So system performance evaluation and O&M practices, executive summary, identification and evaluation of potential EMOs. If you are running a C&I project, you need to advise the client very well. Even when you are doing a residential solar system installation, you need to identify possible EMOs that will enable the client cut down costs of installing solar system in his or her facility. So, list of recommended EMOs and implementation plan. So we look at conclusion and recommendation. When you finish with the power audit, you need to go back to your office or your house and design the system, get back to the client, and appropriate recommendation will be given to the client. You send your quotation across to the client, and he or she will make decision, and you people can follow along. There is need for us to follow the right paths when we are going solar. There is need for us to follow professional ethics in the solar industry when we are going solar. Else, you might be burning people's houses. Else, you might be helping, you might be wasting a client's investment. So there is need for us to always follow professional ethics when we are going solar. We have spent almost 1 hour and some minutes. Let's look at classification of power audits. I will not waste time here. We have residential power audits, we have commercial power audits, we have industrial power audits, and we have mini grid power audits. Each of the power audit type or class is addressed differently. So basic tools that you use when you are going for power audits, you use your writing material, you use your clamp meter, you use your digital caliper. You know your writing materials is for taking down points or notes. Your clamp meter is to measure electrical parameters. Then your digital caliper is to take measurement of the roof gauge. There is a standard roof gauge that you have to use when you are installing solar. Well, when you are doing a residential solar system installation, it might not be of importance. But when you move into commercial projects, you must follow international standard. Digital compass to check the direction of the sun and geographical area. Measuring tape is to take distance. Have step-by-step approach for conducting solar power audits. Though these steps might not be chronologically, it is important for you to take note of them. You have to first of all check the electrical architecture of the building to ensure the type of electrical installation that was done on the site or on the facility. There are some facility you go to their DP, and every connection there is nothing to write home about. You cannot install your solar system and link to such a system. You need to advise the client, please, this thing must be arranged. There are certain maybe breakers that must be changed, and this thing should be kept very nice. You can see from here, you see how haphazard this is. Maybe after the arrangement here, and always ensure that you put fire extinguisher close to, in fact, every home is supposed to have fire extinguisher. It is not, most times it is not solar that causes houses to be engulfed by fire. There are some houses that they don't have solar installed in the facility, but when such things still want to happen, it will always happen. So it is always good to have ways of protecting all those things. So take stock of electrical loads to be powered with proposed solar energy. That is during the power audit exercise. Then you check the rating of each of the electrical load. Don't just go and mention, oh, fan, lighting point, television, and AC, fridge. A very important aspect is to check the rating that the operating hours of each of the electrical load, as well as agree on the powerhouse location. That is the equipment room. Whether you are doing residential mini grid or C&I project, you have to always agree on the equipment room. So determine the cable length that will be needed for the solar system installation. We know that cable is to use your tape to measure the length from the rooftop to the powerhouse, from the powerhouse to the DB, so that you'll be able to know the size of cable that will be needed. If you want to integrate the solar with the generator, you have to equally measure from the powerhouse to the gen sets. Maybe you want the generator to be starting automatically. Maybe during days of autonomy, you can integrate with the generator. That means you need to measure from the powerhouse to the gen set. So check roof status, check for missing, damage, defective or under specified roof sheets. You can see this roof is not suitable for installing solar panel, but you can see after a whole lot of the total overhaul of the roof, you can see we are having a roof that will be suitable for your solar system installation. Then check the roof dimension, if it will contain all the panels, if proposed solar panels are much. If you are going for, maybe if you are doing a residential solar system installation, there's no need to take the dimension of the roof, because the number of solar panels will not be enough. But when you move to commercial and industrial solar system installation, it is a must for you to know the dimension of the roof, so that to determine the number of solar panels that the roof can actually accommodate, because the size of the roof equally determine the number of solar panels and the size that you give to your client during C&I project. So locate the installation plan for the solar panels installation. So always know, okay, which plan am I going to mount the solar panel? Am I going to mount on plane A? Am I going to mount on plane B? Am I going to mount on plane C, or 1, 2, 3? This will be determined by the sun rays that the movement of the sun on that particular site. So if ground mount will be used, find a suitable space for the construction of the panel stanchion. We are still talking about the steps that you will take during power audit, or what you need to do, a step-by-step approach when you are on site. So if ground mount will be used, find a suitable space for the construction of the solar panel stanchion. So check the shading and advise the client accordingly. You can see this panel is shaded, so you need to factor in all this. It might be caused by so many factors, so you need to understand the shading history in the facility. So make sure you test for earthing in the facility and be sure the earth is perfect.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, my question, I don't know if you can hear me well.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead with your question. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. In the course of your listing, you have been talking about C&I. Though I know you have explained it, but I wasn't. My phone went off at that particular time. I just want to know the full meaning of C and I you were talking about. You have been mentioning.
Okay, C means commercial. I means industrial. So commercial maybe in a boarding school. When we say residential solar system installation, we are talking about solar system installation that you install for homeowners. That means you are installing it in somebody's apartment, not in a commercial facility. When we say C, that is commercial. Maybe you are installing it in the bank. You are installing it in a hotel. You are installing it in a boarding school. You are installing it in a supermarket. So those are commercial solar system installation. It's by magnitude, it is bigger than what we have in the residential setting. When we are talking about industrial, those are solar systems installed in maybe industries, factories. There are big solar system installation. And when we are talking about mini grid solar system installation, we are talking about solar system installation that you implement it in an entire community, in which that one solar system installation would take care of an entire community. Everybody will be tapping from that single solar system installation. We call it the mini grid solar system installation. I don't know whether you get me, Sir Liu.
I get you perfectly well now. Thank you very much.
Okay, please, is there any other question?
Okay. I know maybe in the course of while you proceed, I know you definitely explain, but I just felt I should ask. You know, when you are talking about installation of those panels and inspection of the roof sheets, you talked about. My question is this: is there a possibility of installing a solar panel on a roof sheet without damaging the roof sheet, like causing leakaging and all that?
Yes. In the course of this training, I introduce you to some of the things you use when you are doing roof racking. In the course of this training, let me see whether I can see it. Okay. When you are doing roof racking, these are the accessories you need. Your vernier caliper is to measure the roof thickness. Your L-foot and your end clamp, mid clamp is to hold your solar panels well. Your crimping tool is to crimp your solar panel well, the solar cable effectively. Your flash band, we all know that when you march on the roof, if the roof gauge is not okay, even when it is okay, you might give the roof you might damage some part of the roof. So if you use the flash band for maintenance, it is used for maintenance purpose. So one of the things you use after installing your solar panel is to use your flash band to maintain or to take care of those places that might be prone to leakage. That is one. You can equally use your sealant to seal the roof. If you notice that I have damaged this part of the roof, you use the sealant. So when you drill into the roof, when you drill the L-foot into the roof, there is going to be a hole. A hole will be created in which rain might pass through there and penetrate into the house. So this is how you do it. You use the sealant and the flash band, this flash band and this sealant to seal the roof. If you seal it like you have seen on this picture, till maybe if it is not this type of roof, till you say you want to maintain
Okay, Mr. Shumpaka.
Then, or you want to remove this, protect your roof from leakage after your solar system installation. That was the reason I bring those items to the platform. Please, I don't know whether you understand me. So when somebody installs solar and when the person leaves, the roof is leaking, that means he did not do the thing professionally. He refuses to follow professional ethics in the solar industry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
So there is Ajinde ask your question. So there's every possibility that you install the solar panels on the rooftop and they will not have any leakage the next 20 years. Ajinde, we are waiting for your question. Ajinde, you, I see your hand. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Please.
Good evening.
Okay. We are listening.
Good evening. Yeah, are you hearing me?
Evening, my boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly well.
Okay, well done, sir. I'm listening from Lagos.
You're welcome.
I'm listening to the lecture from Lagos. So I joined the lecturing midway. So this will make me to ask that at the end of this lecturing, are we going to have tests?
Please be audible. Be audible.
So I'm saying that being the fact that I joined this lecture midway. Hello?
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So for the fact that I joined midway, I'm trying to ask if at the end of this lecture we have like a test, like textbook, covering all this lecturing. Hello, sir. Are you hearing me, sir? So
yes, I can still hear you.
Okay, I want to know if you have this textbook that covers all these important lecturing at the end of the lecture hall. And
yes,
if
we have a textbook. We will make.
Okay, if we have, sir, how do we people in Lagos get it at the end of the lecture? I'm interested in getting all the books, all the lecturing books.
Okay. We don't sell first when we start. We want people to come and test, hear or speak, talk about the solar industry. Before we can present our offer. We have the textbook. We have the textbook in all the states in this country, even in Zimbabwe, and we have it in Zimbabwe, Cameroon. So we have the textbooks in all the states in this country. In Lagos, we have them in more than 5 locations. So we will inform everybody when.
Sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Please, is there any other question? This is question time. If you have any question in the solar industry that has been troubling you, we are one of the best hands that can give you up-to-date information in the solar industry, because with our exposure, we are exposed to so many foreign companies. We have worked with so many foreign companies. So when I'm telling you we are using international approach when we are talking about the solar industry. Trash it so that you get to understand what to do exactly. Amos, are you with us? So I believe what we had discussed so far, from all indication, we all understand. And most times, what I normally advise people is, we are here to learn the secrets and nitty-gritty surrounding the solar industry. And before now, we had introduced you to some of the concepts. We started with different types of solar system installation. Why do we start there? Because that is the very first thing you should understand. When you want to go solar, you should ask yourself, what type of solar system installation do I need? Each of the type of solar system installation comes with a different approach, different cost, different planning, and everything. We move into the different ways or the different reasons why people go solar and why people are not willing to buy into the huge potential that the sun provides. We talk about how you can go about a comprehensive power audit in your facility. So we are going to continue from where we stop, talk about electrical loads. Please, I believe you can still see my screen. You can still see my screen. Am I correct? Confidence, is my screen still visible?
Yeah, the screen is very, very visible. Electrical loads are objects.
Okay. So we want to talk about electrical load. Why do we install solar? We install solar in a facility for the sole aim of powering our electrical loads. We don't invest that huge amount of money and we want to use it for any other thing rather than to power our electrical loads. So first of all, electrical loads are those objects that make use of electrical energy. Example, your television, your AC, your air conditioning, and every other electric appliances that you can think of. Basically, this training is the foundational stage that you need to learn step by step. We are not going to rush. Then you can see before you here, these are some of the electrical loads that we use in our facility. Then let's talk about types of electrical load, because when you want to install solar for a client, these are things you need to first of all understand. Apart from understanding the different types of solar system installation that the clients might be interested in, next thing is you need to understand the type of electrical load that you want to power with the solar system, because different types of electrical load requires different approach in powering the electrical load, and this will adversely affect the cost of your solar system installation. The very first type of electrical load that we discuss here is the resistive loads. Resistive load, there are those loads that make use of heating elements like the incandescent bulb, the toaster, the oven, and others. You can see pictorially. When you are designing this kind of system, we normally advise clients, if you are running resistive loads, ensure that you run these loads during peak sun hours. Not that you cannot run it at night, but if you run it at night, you will need a bigger size of battery bank to run this kind of loads, because at night you will not have the sun. So resistive load is the very first type of electrical load that we have in the solar industry. Then we move into inductive load. Inductive load. These are loads that make use of motors in their operation. Basically, when you want to start this type of electrical load, they will need more power as against the rating of this kind of load. If, for example, you are running this kind of load and the rating of this kind of load is like 1 kVA or 1000 watts, let me use what, 1000 watts, you should use an inverter of like 3 kVA, because during the starting process, it requires more power for it to start up. Then during the when it is in operation, it will the power will return to the normal rating or the rated power of this kind of load. So this kind of load we call them inductive loads. Please, you can mute yourself. We are in a class. Please mute. So please, what we are discussing here is what you need in the solar industry. There's no two ways about it. Somebody is still disturbing. There is, you can remove anybody that is not following, please. So what we are discussing here are things you will need in the solar industry. Whether you are doing residential solar system installation, whether you are doing commercial solar system installation, and whether you are doing mini grid solar system installation. As far as the solar industry is concerned, these are the things you need to learn. So we first talk about resistive loads, that there are those loads that make use of heating elements. We showed you an example, and we advise you that if you want to run resistive loads, you should make use of them during peak sun hours or during the daytime. If you want to run resistive loads at night, you have to be prepared to buy enough battery bank to take care of the energy demand from resistive loads. Then we'll move ahead to talk about inductive loads. There are those loads that make use of motors in their operation. When you are powering inductive loads, they will consume ×3 of the rated power of that particular inductive load. So when sizing your solar inverter must be ×3 of the rated power of the inductive load. These are some of the examples: fans, dishwasher, washers, and refrigerators. You can see them. So pictorially, these are some of the inductive loads that you can think of. Then capacitive loads are the normal loads that we use daily. They make use of capacitors. Then another type of load that we discuss in the solar industry is the critical loads. Critical loads are those loads that you run them 24 hours. There is no time you say you shut it down. Example, before now we were used to ATM machine. I don't know whether ATM machine is still functional because of POS. When ATM machine was in operation, you see, even though you go to the bank by 12 a.m., you see there will be power for you to withdraw your money. So savers and every other thing that are classified as critical loads. They are classified as critical loads because you run them 24/7. There's no time of the year you say you shut it down, else or otherwise you disrupt the entire network or operation. So life support people in the hospital, So this kind of load, you power them with sometimes separate systems. Even when you have your complete solar systems, you have to improvise an additional system to power this kind of electrical load. So they are called critical loads. So you can see your security cameras. Then you have the phantom loads. You have the phantom loads or ghost loads. So this type of load, even when you shut them down, they are still consuming power. Even when they are in off mode, they are still consuming power. So you need to know all these types of loads. Example is your television, your DVD players, your screens, your toaster, and the rest. Why do we need to learn about electrical loads? Because when you are sizing your solar system or your solar component, if you don't know the type of electrical load that will be powered with the solar system, when you finish with the solar system installation, the solar system installation will fail. But if you understand, if you have an in-depth knowledge of the electrical load that will be used on your solar system installation, it will guide you, it will help you know how to size the solar system effectively. So how electrical loads affect the size of the solar system is one of the most important factors that determine the size and the cost. Even your design, it is the type of electrical load that will guide you on how to design your solar system. So, like powering critical loads, when you are powering critical loads, you have to ensure that your battery storage will be able to sustain the critical load for the period for all year round. Whether we have days of autonomy or we don't have days of autonomy, your critical loads must be powered effectively. So you have to design your battery bank to take care of the critical load. So powering critical loads will require the solar system to run for 24 hours all year, throughout the year, and this will definitely determine the design process. Then, powering inductive loads and resistive loads require that the solar system should be appropriately sized to take care of this type of load. I have already said that if you are running resistive loads, they make use of heating elements. So for that heating element to come up and you start using the resistive load, it requires enormous amount of power. It drains your battery tremendously. And for you to run inductive load, you have to size the solar inverter to be ×3 of the rated power of your solar system installation. Please, then let's look at electrical load ratings. Electrical load ratings. We said that the rating of an electrical appliance indicates the voltage at which the appliance is designed to work and the current consumption at that voltage. Basically, every electrical load that you want to power, there is always a rating on the nameplate. We call it the nameplate, whereby the manufacturers of that electrical load will tell you, you see this machine, maybe your laptop or your fridge, your AC, or any other electrical load, there must be a nameplate on it. That is the rating. That is the specification. That is the specification for that particular electrical load. They will tell you the voltage, the current, the frequency that electrical load can operate. So the electrical load rating of that particular appliances is what the manufacturer specified. So when you combine all these electrical loads in your facility, those information, those data are what you will use to size the solar system. The challenge we have in the solar industry is even when you want to size a system for a client, the client will not allow you to ask him certain questions. He will just tell you, I want to run AC, I want to power fridge, I have these lighting points. Those information are important. If you are not close to me, then I ask you what and what do you want to power. You need to spell those things out. You need to tell me the time of the day you want to power that electrical load. You need to tell me approximately how many hours you want to power that electrical load. You need to tell me the time at night, how many hours do you want to power this electrical load. So when you give me all those information, it will enable me to size the solar system. Anything short of that, we are doing guesswork. If you check the Facebook, we have started running ads for people to consult us to design system for them. If I chat you over and ask you certain questions, what and what do you want to power? What time do you say, no, I will give me system. I'll just allow you. Because if the system fail, you blame me, you blame us. So, but if you give us all this data, it will enable us size the best solar system that you will not even call us. But if you don't give us this information, there will be problem. And most times, if we tell you, give us money, let's come to your facility to do power audit and look at those things, you say, no, come use your money and come. We are not sure whether the project will come or not. So electrical load rating are those rated voltage, current, frequency that you see on the nameplate. We'll talk about that in detail. So these figures are usually displayed on the nameplates. These figures are usually displayed on a rating plate attached to the appliance. That is the nameplate, example 220 volts, 5 amp. The rating of an electrical load relates to power it consumes. Then what is an electrical load nameplate? We had already discussed. When you turn even your fan, when you turn the back of your fan or your television, your AC, your laptop, you see the manufacturers had rated it. That place you see that rating, we call it the nameplate. So the information on the nameplate of an electrical load specify the voltage at which the electrical load is made to operate. It defines the parameters for the electrical load, such as power factor, efficiency, current, and the rated voltage and frequency. We had already discussed this. So you can see this is an example of a nameplate of an electrical load. Whenever you look at the nameplate of an electrical load, you will see it rated in watts. Most electrical loads are rated in watts. Most electrical loads are not rated in watts, but you will be given the voltage and the current at which this electrical load operates. So most times, if you don't see it rated in watts, you'll be given the voltage and the current. And watt is the unit for power. And if you multiply voltage and current, you have the rating of that electrical load. So don't be afraid. If you look at the nameplate, this image I've showed you here, it is not rated in watts. You always see the voltage and the current of that electrical load operates with. So remember, what is the unit of power? That immediately informs you of the power consumption of such an electrical load. So if this is not available, if you see it is not rated in watts, we said that the manufacturers will always include the voltage. Like I've already said, it will always include the voltage and the current. Current, the units for you have seen, if you say current is rated in amp on the nameplate of the electrical or electronic appliances. Those are the parameters you make use of to know the power consumption of electrical load. You'll be given an assignment to play with when it comes to this. So in summary, electrical loads are rated in watts, and we know that watt is the unit of power, and power is always current times voltage. Understanding what we are discussing here is very simple. Whether you are an electrician, you are a science student, you are not a science student, anybody can understand this thing because we will break it down. If you know how to multiply numbers, you get it right. You don't need to stress yourself. Don't think, oh, I'm not an electrician, I'm not a science student. No, you understand. So P, which is power, is IV. And we have given the P means power, I means current, and V means voltage. So in summary, if the electrical equipment is not rated in watts, don't worry yourself. You'll be provided with the current and the voltage consumed by electrical equipment. So there is no electrical equipment that you will carry that is in your facility that you will not see it either rated in watts or you see the current and the voltage. There's none. All the electrical load that is manufactured by a particular company, they always give you those specifications. They always give you those specifications. So don't say, I don't see it. So in summary, we say you should multiply the parameters, the voltage and the current. So typical wattage requirement of common household electrical appliances. These are some electrical loads that we use in our facility and the power rating of each of the electrical load. You can always Google it.
Yes, I'm with you.
Confidence, please. Are you people still following? Okay, the slide is still going. So these are some of the electrical loads that we use in our facility and the rated power of each electrical load. So, but I have to tell you this. This is for this purpose, training purpose. Don't rely on this. Make use of the one because everyday technology keeps improving. These days they are using most of the electrical loads that are being manufactured. They try to bring down the rating. That is, there are energy saving. So the one you have, if you want to buy any electrical load now, please ensure that it is energy saving. So that the day you want to go solar, you will not spend so much money installing solar. We have bulb of 100 watts, but we equally have bulbs of 10 watts. That means that one bulb that is 100 watts, you is equivalent to running 10 watts that is 10 watts. That your AC that is 1.5 horsepower, we equally have AC that is 300 watts. So electrical loads that are manufactured these days are always energy saving. So those are some of the electrical load rating that we have. And basically, if you want to go for power audits, if you want to design a system for a client, if you want to design a system for yourself, if you want to go solar, please take your time. Whether you are going to join our training or you are not going to join our training, this information can help you communicate with your installer effectively. So it is proper for you to do a comprehensive power audit of your facility. If you will move with us to the master class, if you move with us to C&I training, if you move with us to the mini grid training, this is the first information we will always emphasize on. And if you get it wrong here, you get everything wrong. Even though you buy the best solar components, for your solar system installation, it will fail because the foundation was poor. So we always have a template that we rely on, and we always give it to our customers, our students, for different purposes. So before you is the template, which we are going to use it, document it, do our assignment, and move on to designing the different solar components. So basically, solar is very costly. And if you are not careful, if you rush to get projects from clients without due documentation, you end up in the prison. So for that purpose, you have to professionally document the data, the information, so that when you are doing it, your client will understand that you know what you are doing. So before you is the customer information that you will always collect from your customer. You can always edit this to carry your company name in whichever way you want to use it. We will send it to the group so that you can use it if you want to follow us to the master class. Then the very first thing is the client name. What is the name of the client? You write it. The next thing is the site full address. Where is that site located? Or what is the address of that particular site? The next thing is the location. That is the city, the state. Then the business type. Is it residential? Is it commercial? Or is it an industrial setup? So when we move to mini grid, we will also specify that this is for mini grid project. So primary contact person, you collect the person's name and phone number. Then consultant detail, which company is going to handle that project. This is a legal document. You can tender it anywhere. So I have to make this table as short as so that it can enter into this slide. So the next thing, the very first thing you recorded was the customer's detail. So now you are going to record the electrical load information that you meet on site. The very first thing you are having on in the very first column here is the serial number. The serial number, you can number it 1, I can't type here. 1, 2, 3 till you get to where you are going. Then the item, is it fan? Is it AC? Is it laptop? So you list them here. Where is it located? That is location of that electrical load. This is exactly how you approach it. Reason being, you might go to somebody's house, you are a stranger. You go there, when you leave, they say this particular equipment, electrical load is missing, and you were the one that came into that house. They will accuse you. But if you go to every location, you say, okay, I saw this here, I saw this here. When you leave, before you leave, they will sign that this information you have gotten is what you met. And there's no point they will accuse you. So that is location. So the next thing you are having here is condition. What is the condition? Is it good or bad? Because if the electrical load is not okay and you ignore it, that no, I'm not going to put this one, it's not working, you leave the site. When you finish designing the system, remember you have not included that bad electrical load in your data collection. When you finish installing your system, you know how clients behave. They will start using, well, I'm having constant light now. They will carry that electrical load, go and fix it. They come and integrate it into your solar system. It will cause serious problem to the system because that was not captured during the power audit. It's just like you want to travel to Lagos. Then you carry transportation for yourself alone. Before you know it, you go to, while you are going to power, you go and meet your friend. He will tell you to pay your transportation for. You did not include him in your budget. So except you carried excess money. That's when you can do that. And if you want to design system for future load, it will accommodate those ones they might fix later, but it will equally increase the cost of your solar system installation. So when you look at the condition, is it okay or is it bad? Record that. The next thing is any plan for replacement. You have to agree with the customer, with the client. Will you replace this electrical load? If he said yes, you say, okay, no problem. Will you buy this same type? You turn the nameplate and show him this is the rating, and you try to communicate with him the implication of that nameplate. If you go and buy the one that is bigger than this, it will affect what I'm going to give you. But if you buy the one that will be lesser than this rating, it's okay. So agree on that. So any plan for replacement. So if there is any plan, we have not included a column that you put the rating of maybe if there's any replacement. So, but just know that there will be need for replacement. So you document it, then you move on. You can verbally ask that particular one. So quantity is how many have you seen in that facility? Maybe you go and you have fan 3, you record 3. You have fan 5, 10, you record. If you have lighting point 10, 15, you record. So quantity is how many do you have in that particular facility. Then the next thing you have, the next column is the unit wattage. This I'm doing, you do it in all the electrical loads you meet on site, except you go to a particular place that are having the same electrical load like fridge. All of them are rated the same. So you just put maybe unit quantity 3. All of them are maybe 200 watts. It's okay. But if they are not rated the same way, you have to record their individual unit wattage. So the next thing you are having here is total watt. Unit watt is what is the rating, that is the wattage of each of the electrical load. But when you say total watt, we are talking about when you multiply the quantity times the unit watt, the quantity times the unit watt, it will give you total watts for that particular type of electrical load. Maybe television, you are having quantity 5, each is rated 20 watts, then total watt will be 20 times 5. That will give you 100 watts. Then another thing you have here is appliance operating hours. You need to ask your client, how many hours will you be using this particular electrical load? How many hours? Let him answer. If he doesn't answer, please insist that he answers you. Let him give you a rough estimate based on his daily routine. So appliance operating hours. Then when you have appliance operating hours, you have total watt hours. Total watt hours will be total wattage times the appliance operating hours. That will give you the total watt hours. The total wattage times the hours of usage will give you the total watt hours of that particular electrical load. Then there is another question that you need to always ask the clients. Each of these electrical load, though this we did not capture that here. Each of this electrical load, there's another template I might send to you. I might send that one to the group. Each of these electrical load, what time will you be operating it? Is it during the day or is it at night? Because sizing solar system as day use, remember we talk about day use system, is different from sizing solar system for night usage. Remember, during the daytime, you have enough sun and you have the solar panel that will assist in charging. So as you are consuming, the system is topping up, is gaining more energy. But at night, you will not have the sun to charge. That means every of the energy will be consumed from the solar battery. These are some of the things that end users have as the challenge when somebody finish installing system for them. Before you know it, they will be complaining. This thing, by 10 p.m., the system will go off. By 8 p.m., the system will go off. Maybe because the person that designed the system didn't know left from right. It just, I want 5 kVA, 5 kVA, 5 kilowatt. It doesn't ask certain questions to know how to size the system, whether it is for day use or for night use. We did not capture that one here anyway, but I believe the template I will give you will help you understand what I mean. So that is the template before you that you must. Any problem? So the template before you, and whether you want to go and do your own, you can do it. But as far as this solar industry is concerned, this is the standard that you must carry this thing to the site. When you want to do power audit, you must go with, don't go and say, I will cram everything. You must go with this template. When you go, you document it so that when you go back to your house or your office to design the system, you will make use of this template, because this is what will give you an insight on how the solar system will be managed. So after that, you look at Subway Energy representative. So the person that will, you can look at this Subway Energy representative. Kindly ensure that you are provided with the necessary information documents and that is self-explanatory. And when you are doing this, please ensure you take pictures. Please ensure you take pictures. Well, you might not take pictures when you are doing residential solar system installation, but picture list is a must when you are doing C&I or mini grid projects, because most times those projects are financed by other companies and they might contract you to do it. So they want to sit at the comfort of their house, and you provide them with those information. From those information, they will know what to do. The next line of action they will tell you to do. So when you finish, you, as the company representative, you write your name, you write your position, you write your phone number, you write your email, you sign, and you write the dates. And when you are going for, maybe if you are going for residential, maybe you might not write your email, you can be calling. But when you are doing C&I, foreign companies, they will not call you to talk to you. Everything is through email. So nobody will call you. You will work from year in, year out. Everything is through mail. So when you need to provide that, then another thing you have to determine is the peak sun hours in that particular site. Before now, we said that if you are in Nigeria and you are designing a solar system, maybe in Akwa Ibom State, you design the same size of solar system, everything in the northern Sokoto, the cost will be different because they have different peak sun hours. We talk about how geographical location affects our system. So the next thing is customer. Kindly ensure that you have verified the above electrical information and ensure that they are correct before signing this document. So the clients have to equally sign it. This is a professional way of doing it. Every other thing we are doing cut and join. If you go to sign, you don't carry this thing, let your customer sign, you sign. That is a contractual agreement. Because you visited his site, these are the electrical load he will power, and you sign it. There's, at least we did a project in Abuja, and the system they gave us to provide for them, we size it, and when we install the system, they power all the electrical load. But that wasn't the original design that we gave them. Thank God we even oversized that system. Not that there is problem, but if they complain that the system is not taking them as they expected, we will show them the agreement that these are the loads you people say you are going to run, but these are the loads you are running now. You bring more money, let us add more battery or add more panel. So signing this is a contractual agreement that both parties agreed to run this type of electrical load, this number of electrical load at this time and every other thing. If you don't do it, you have yourself to blame. So the person will equally sign here. Customer name, is it a rented apartment or not? Phone number, email, date, and signature. So we want to give an assignment. We want to give an assignment so that we can navigate and start sizing the solar components. But before then, I would love you to ask question, your comments, or any other thing that might be troubling you. So I'll give just 5 minutes for that before we go into assignment.
Please, I have a question to ask, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Please, when you want to calculate the wattage of the appliance at home, when you come to lightning points, how will you know exactly the total wattage of the whole lightning point of the apartment? Let's assume you don't know what each of the light is slated for. So how will you know the total wattage of the whole lightning point of the apartment?
Okay. Is that the question? Okay, every light bulb that you buy, when you inside on the packet, it is rated maybe 20 watts, 50 watts. There's no light you buy that the rating is not on the pattern. So always look out for it. If I come for power audit, I carry my face and look up. When I see any electrical loads that you are using light, even though I don't see the carton, I will know the rating. Most times these days, people are using energy saving. So I don't know whether I've answered your question. Please, do you understand me? When you use a trained eye, you know the size of any lighting points. So as somebody that is coming into the industry newly, you have to, when you want to buy the bulb, check the carton. It is always written. That is the answer to your question. Please, is there any other question before we continue? Okay, let's move into an assignment. So we are telling you in your facility or compound, fill the table provided above. We will send these templates to the group. If you want to follow us to the paid version of this training, we will send these templates to the group so that you can use it. So we say fill in the table provided above appropriately without leaving any space blank. So you will fill the client name. If it is in your facility, fill it. We say fill in the customer information as provided on the table. Example, client name, site address, location of the site, business type, etc. Then we say list all the electrical loads accordingly and specify the name of the electrical loads, including. So we are going. You are going to list the item name. That is it iron? Is it television? Then you continue listing. Then from the information above, do the following. So we are giving you this same table. We are telling you from the information above, do the following. So specify the location. So in that your house, you have to specify the location. Is it in the bedroom? Is it in parlor? Is it in the kitchen? Specify the location of the item in your facility. That is the next thing. And state the condition of the electrical load. Is it good or bad? We had already said something about that. So, and we have told you why you need to include the condition. If any electrical load is bad, is there any plan for replacement or for future replacement? We have told you why you need to include that. Then specify the quantity of each of the electrical loads. Specify the quantity of each of the electrical loads. Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Then the next thing you have to do is specify the unit watts of each of the electrical load. We discussed this before now, so it is not difficult. Then specify the total watts of that type of electrical load in the facility. That means the unit watts multiplied with the quantity will give you the total watts. Then on average, how long in hours do you use each of the electrical loads? That is the next column. That is appliance operating hours. Then we say, what is the total watt hours of each of the electrical load? That is the very last column. And we say that when you multiply the total wattage and the hours, the appliance operating hours, it gives you the total watt hours of the electrical load. Then hints, we had already said that total watt hours is total watt times hours of usage. We had already said that. Then at the end of this particular one is asking you add all the total watt hours in the last column. That is, this is the last column. Total watt hours. You have to add all of them. Then you drop the answer at the very last point. Then you equally add the total watts of each of all the electrical loads. So you give us the summation of the total watts and the summation of the total watt hours. We will use it as we are progressing. So if you are able to do this, if you will be able to do that assignment and you are interested in going further, we will invite you. So we are telling you that the information you have provided is what we will use to design all the solar components. So the information you are going to provide to us, or if you will work with us, you want to do it yourself, those information will help you determine the size of the inverter. It will help you determine the battery bank that you will need in your solar system installation. Those information will equally help you know the number of solar panels that will be needed. Those information will equally help you know the charge controllers that you will need and every other accessory, solar accessories that you will need for your solar system installation. There is no two ways about it. If you want to learn solar or you want solar in your facility, this information is what you need. This information is what you need before you even think of going, maybe installing solar in your facility. If you visited our YouTube channel, you see the magnitude of work or jobs that we handle. This is the secret. This is the foundation. There is none of those projects that we will do that we would not make use of the information we have made available to you in the course of this session. You need to go for C&I, you need this information. You need to go for mini grid project, you need this information. So if you're interested in the solar industry, maybe anything you can think of, the door is widely open. You can follow us. And we don't just teach. When we teach you, we will make you become part of the company, because we have already trained so many people in Nigeria and outside the country. They are working with us. There are our representatives. When we have projects in their states, they are the people that handle it. Most people say they want physical training, they don't need online training. Sir, please, we are using a different approach. Solar is both theory and practical. You cannot leave your house and say you are following us to site. We will tell you, go to the classroom, go and learn first. If you don't do that, go and look for another company and join. Because what you learn in the classroom is more than what you learn on site. Everything you learn in the classroom is what you implement on site. So if you say you don't need theory, please, we are not ready to work with you, because you will be, the reason people will install solar and they say they burn down people's houses is they don't know anything about what they are doing. They are doing copy and paste because they don't want to know the theory behind what they are doing. Everything we are doing here is what we were taught in secondary school. So if you don't want to learn it the Ojibwe way, you want to learn it, I want to go to site, carry panel and see, have you asked them, how did you people started this? Before you buy this mattress, come to this place, start mounting it, and I'm seeing you are looking smart, and you finish installation and the system will stand the test of time. When you refuse to learn the theory, you will be doing copy and paste. That is what I guarantee you. If you call me now and tell me, okay, this is the electrical load I want to size, I want to run with solar, I don't need to even go and do sizing again, because I've been doing it for a very long time. I will just ask you, what hours, how many hours will you be using this particular load? How many hours will you be using this particular load? What time of the day will you be using this, at night or in the daytime? When I finish with that, I don't need to go and do any design. I will just tell you the size of system, and I know every other electrical, the accessories and everything I will need. And the type of electrical load also affect the materials we use. So all these things, how to size the cable and every other thing, you will learn in the course of this online training. Everything we will send in the course content, the price, and the textbooks. We have 6 solar textbooks we have published when it comes to this information that you need. When you finish with the online training, you can tell us, okay, I'm in Benin. We have a representative in Benin. He's running his own solar academy now. There's no part in this country, outside country, that we don't have representative. But for you to join our physical training, please, you need to pass through this, because you will need our certificates. You will need our certificate at the end of the training. So if you are interested in joining our system, please, you have to pass through this process. And equally, we have, we need, most time when we need people to employ marketers, installers, and what have you, when we put up ads for people, for our students to join, people that refuse to join our training will come and follow apply. There's no way me and you will be able to communicate if you don't pass through our training. And there's no way we will absorb you we have a system that somebody can make solar and pay 30%. It's not a new thing. The person will be paying instrumentally. So everything that you need, if you want to join us, when we have a project we give to you, we want students that we can give our project and go and sleep. You don't go and do it your own way. Because if you do it your own way and anything happens, we will blame ourselves. So we prefer working with people that we are trained, so that when you make a mistake, you know that we told you. Just like me, I finished training student now. I want to employ. I have to employ people that are trained, not an external person, because that external person will not be able to communicate with me because I did not train him. He did not hear from me. So we are going to train you the professional way. And I believe you will not regret meeting Subway Energy Academy. So please, if you have questions, you ask, and we end the session here. Confidence, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, you can unmute, let them ask question. And I thank God.
Anyone that wants to speak can unmute himself. Anyone that wants to speak can unmute himself.
We have spent on just 1 hour. I thank God that we have not wasted.
Hello.
You are welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I did more. Well done, sir, for the good lecture. Well delivered.
Thank you, sir.
Well done. I really enjoyed but the question I want to ask, because I joined halfway, I joined at the point of, the load information that you put at the table. So I want to ask, this lecture that we have received today, it's just like I asked the last time, the last lecture. Are you going to put out because I missed some things, like you said the formula for the total is equal to so times something, and that information is needed in the assignment you want to give us.
Okay, we have the textbook for this, and this session is recorded. We will make it available.
Okay, that would be good, sir.
Okay.
We will appreciate that, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir.
All right.
That's all I want to ask, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? We have engineers in this house. You can still contribute. Don't allow me, and you have been using this thing, so don't allow me alone to be the one talking. Is there any other question?
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the lesson. I applaud you for everything. And my own is not really a question, but it's a question, but not too related to what you just said. You just taught us. My own is I just joined it. I'm joining the class for the first time, and I am not a solar technician though,
okay.
but I am interested in learning the skills. So I don't know if there is any way, like you, I think you mentioned something like a YouTube channel where I can go.
Okay,
yeah, where I can go to get all the previous videos and the rest.
Don't
I
worry.
know where to start from.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We already have this training. When you come in, we have about 200 videos for you to watch. You cannot watch 200 videos and your life will remain the same. About 250 something videos.
Sure.
From what is solar to how to commission a site when it comes to residential solar system installation. And Whether you are in the solar industry or you are very fresh, the way we break down the concepts, your life will never remain the same. And immediately you graduate from us, please tell us that you want to start making money. In fact, while you are still working, even right now, you have a project, you have a client that needs solar, and it doesn't have the complete money to pay. We have investors that are waiting for such people if they will merit it, if their bank statement will have the financial, the investors carry that burden from the person, even though it is 100K. And if it's what we are teaching you here, you are able to, even though you don't know how to install, you are able to bring the client, go and do power audit. At the end of the day, we're able to sign that contract. You get your own marketing benefits. So whether you are new to the industry or you are already a professional, we work with our students. We work with our students. So we already have, we started this session some days ago. So we will present the video and we will edit this one and also join. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a complete package that you get access to 6 solar textbooks, and you also get access to all the training information. When you graduate, if you can't still understand, tell us. We will send you to our representative. You follow him and be going to site. I don't know why I've answered your question.
Yeah, very well, sir. Very well, sir.
Please, is there any other question?
Inde Moru is back again. I just want to briefly react to what you have just said. In fact, yeah, I can't wait to have all those videos and the complete package textbooks. So I'm so happy to hear that from you, sir.
All right.
Meanwhile, I'm receiving the lecture from Lagos.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay,
yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Any other question? Any other question or any other question that might interest you in the industry, whether concerning what we have discussed here or anything in the solar industry that you want to ask, we will respond to you. Whether how to make money in the industry, how to get clients, anything that disturbs you in the solar industry. You want to sign C&I projects where the money will be coming in millions. Get the information first, work with us, and that dream will come to reality. Please, do you have any other question? Unmute yourself and talk.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, good evening.
Evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm Dendama Kinde from Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, there was I had a little network problem when you were answering the question concerning the full package.
Okay.
So the time I rejoined, you were talking about you don't need to pay. So I want to know, I want the clarification. If you are interested in full package, what does it take?
Okay.
That is the first question.
Okay. We will drop the information on
the second question. Okay, on the WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Okay, I'll check it. The other question, you are talking about the surge the whole time.
Okay.
So, sorry, you were talking about the surge. Yes, I think it was an introductory video one that I listened to it.
Okay.
That when some materials use surge, you don't use them with a direct DC or those things. So you are not talking concerning those. What are the equipment that usually use surge? And do we still have companies that have not waged such technology? Because I believe the recent improvement supposed to, the company ought to have at least made the appliance that doesn't need surge again. Are they still doing it? And
okay, the latest technology, when you say such current, is like if you are using iron, for example, your iron is a resistive load. Your iron is a resistive load. It makes use of heating elements. You see, when your iron is on, you see your light bulb will dim. When you use it and it gets to the highest temperature, it will off. Your light bulb will go off. Example is if you are using a photocopying machine in your maybe business center and you are using generator, you will notice that when you on the photocopying machine, you will see the generator sound will change. Have you been noticing something like that?
Yeah.
The generator sound will change, but when the photocopying machine stabilizes, the generator sound will also stabilize. So all those electrical loads are inductive loads. They require ×3 of their rating when they are powering on. But latest technology is gradually switching out those loads that behave like that, such that it doesn't need that amount of energy to start up. I don't know whether I've answered your question. Huh?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Please, is there any other question?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm
speaking from Akure here.
Okay.
I want to appreciate your lecture, everything. The other time I discover when I want to do the solar, I went to a particular client in Akure here. Thing was not easy. The way he was explaining things for me, it was a kind of a big load, and I'll say how. So in a process, I now register in one of the foreign sites. Is the man that now put me through, but by the grace of God, I'll be able to do a little one. But I'm having it in mind to go for the training. That is why I want to everything. Like I was listening to your lecture, is quite all right. It's okay. It's even encouraging me now to even add more Z to it. So I want to appreciate you for this. So next time when the meeting will be on, please try to update us so that we'll be able to do proper follow-up. Thank you.
All right. So please, solar is not for professionals alone. You can be a marketer. You can be, if you have money, you can invest. There are many ways you can make money in the solar industry, whether you know how to install or not. If you know how to do power audits, you know how to size system, you know how to procure material. Because if you understand what we have been discussing, you know how to do power audits, you know how to size your system professionally, you know where to buy quality components, and you know how to check for fake products. Installers are everywhere. You can become an investor and you can be making good money. But this training, you can build your own solar company. I have so many. Barnaba, you are disturbing us. We have so many students that are making millions in the solar industry. They joined through this online training and they understood the secrets because they are already there. They use business mentality and they are making waves in the industry. So you are not going to be different. We don't force students to learn. You learn because you have something in front of you. Everywhere now, with the current problem we are having in the country, everybody needs solar. So there's nothing like I don't have time. I don't want. If you want physical, pass through this online so that you'll be. I don't have time to go and be. Even though you come to us, say you want to learn physically, you come to our office. I don't have time to come and teach you. I don't. There's no amount of money that you give me that will make me leave my office or you stop me from going to where I want to go to in the name of coming to office to teach you. If you cannot watch the videos I've taken my time to document, forget about it. Even though you pay me 200, I know I don't have that time. That's just the truth. And even though I should come to teach you physically, I will not be able to be I will not be able to expatiate the way I do it in the videos and every other thing. So please make good use of this platform and the opportunity that we are going to present. When you finish, tell us you want to work on it, and we will give you this platform to equally work with us. Is there any other question? Another thing I would love to say is, in your states, whether in Lagos, any part of the country that you are, if you have somebody that is running a business, a supermarket, hotel, a boarding school, a cool room, any C&I. When we say C&I, we mean commercial. That is commercial, in a commercial setting. School, health facility, that they are spending so much on power. Please tell them that you can be their Messiah. Go and do power audits. We will give you the opportunity to do the power audits, even when you don't know how to size the system. For now, we will help you follow up with the client. And if we are able to convert that prospect to a client, you have your own marketing commission. The project you see us do in Abuja, we don't have an office in Abuja. It was our student that brought that project to us. We went there and delivered it. So you have where you are your community, where you are your church, where you are your school. They need solar, but they might not have the financial muscle to finance everything. So all they need to do is to pay just 80%. And if the person is, if the bank vets the person and the person is credit worthy, the materials, the system will be installed for the person and the person will be paying small. So there are many opportunities that you have when you work with us. This is where I'm going to draw a curtain on this session. If you don't have any other question to ask. Please, do you have any other question?
Not really.
Okay, in the absence of any other question, please, let's call it a close here. Thank
Okay,
you,
sir.
and remain blessed. Information on the masterclass trading will be made available this evening or tomorrow morning.
Sir.
Thank you and remain blessed.